Good morning, good evening, good wherever you are in the world. Thanks for checking in. My biohacking team. Apologies for the last couple of video link stuff ups. I never had any idea it would be so difficult, and by the looks of it, obviously it's evident I need a little bit more help when I set those up, and I'm going to be working on those things over the next few days so we can get them all ironed out. Okay, this morning or this evening, wherever you are, just want to touch on a few things. First up, I just want to give you a little bit of a background, a little bit of a story, just a bit of background history into I'm a biohacker. Where did it come from? Why did I suddenly start talking about biohacking, and you know, where did this all come from? It's quite important for you to understand this, to understand the journey that I've come from, and I suppose especially it's quite important to then understand where I'm going with this, because you're all involved in this process, especially you core 30 people. So I'm going to touch on that. Then we're going to have a look at core structure and timing. I'm going to touch on that. I have a few ideas, and I have a proposal. It's as far as you know, how do we move forward with this? You know, I'm a little bit reluctant to be stuck to rigid timelines and all this sort of stuff. So we're going to touch on that, and I'm going to give you a few ideas and see what you think. And then right at the end, we're just going to touch on the coalition. Just to give you a little bit of a rev up, I guess, in regards to making sure that everybody's on the coalition and that we're all on board and we're starting to get moving with some recording and whatnot, so that by the time we kick this program off, we're all pretty well up to date with at least the very basics, and it's going to save a lot of time and make things a lot more easier as we move forward. Okay, so just a little bit of background and the story behind I'm a biohacker. Where did it come from? I guess if we go back, right back to 4 or 5 years ago when I first got involved with this work, I never had really any intentions of doing this as a business, if you like, or professionally. You know, as some of you will know, that back then I healed myself very, very quickly of some quite serious health issues, extremely quickly, and this is what sort of drives everything I do now. It's teaching the things that I did and what I learned. But I never had really any intention of taking this any further apart from doing it for myself. And in time, I started working with people and helping people and realizing that, well, this wasn't so difficult after all. And I guess more importantly, I started to get, for the first time in my life, I guess, getting some fulfillment into what I was doing. So the thing sort of progressed, but at any given time over the last 4 years, I've never really been that happy with the term, with who I was. What was I doing? You know, what is this thing? People would ask me, and you know, what are you? What do you do? Well, I'm, you know, am I a therapist? Am I a healer? Am I this? Am I that? Well, no, I'm not. I don't see myself as that at all. And to be honest, in regards to healing, I don't believe anybody can heal anybody. Your body can heal you, and that's about it. So I've struggled. I struggled for quite a while to try and really understand, well, what is it that I'm doing? You know, who am I, and what sort of help am I giving people? And it wasn't until probably 2, 3 or 4 weeks ago that I came across the term biohacking. And to be honest, the minute I saw that, I thought immediately, yes, biohacking. This is exactly what I am doing. Okay, because we're all different. We're all very unique. Okay, and the only way we're ever going to move forward with our health, the only way we're ever going to sort of get anywhere, is to start hacking into our biology, which is going to be different than everybody else, and learning how we work. Okay, so this is where the biohacking comes through. So when I started thinking about that, and people would ask me, well, what do you do? Well, I'm a biohacker. This is what I do. I help people hack into their own biology and understand and interpret what's going on. And I guess this is sort of a bit of a big aha moment for me, because it sort of, I came to the realization that over all these years, although I've helped a lot of people, at the end of the day, I can't heal anybody, and nobody can. You know, we've never had more nutritionists, naturopaths, natural healers, doctors, nurses, specialists, medicines, you name it, and we've never been sicker. So we know that the model is broken; it's not working. Okay, and I don't really want to be associated with that. That's not who I am. Okay, the model is broken. Okay, the reason why naturopaths and nutritionists and God knows what and doctors are full up, waiting times, you know, God knows how long, is because these people aren't healing. They don't know how to. Okay, it's not that the naturopath or the nutritionist is necessarily giving the wrong information. It's that the client doesn't have the ability to be able to implement that. Not very effectively anyway. Okay, and this again this is what I'm teaching. This is what I'm all about. It's precisely what I'm all about. So this is the biohacker, and this is where it comes from. I am a biohacker, and my mission is to create a team of biohackers, if you like. Now, as far as where I see this going, if we go back to when I first got into this work and I first started to see and be exposed to the power of this work, I had a dream, and that dream was that I need to teach this. This needs to get out there. Why wasn't I seeing this before? Why wasn't this well known? You know, I was seeing stuff and experiencing stuff and correcting things that I shouldn't have been able to do so quick. So it was one of these. It's one of these moments that like I said, that I decided then that this needed to be taught, and I needed to get out there and articulate this to people, because it's so important. So my idea was to teach it. Now, the 4 or 5 years have gone between now and then, and I guess although I had the vision and the idea that this is something I'm going to be doing within the first 5 minutes, soon changed to the realization that I really needed to learn this to the nth degree, if you like, and this is what I've just spent the last 4 or 5 years doing. But now I'm in a position where I truly believe, and I really do strongly believe this, that I've taken that goal and sort of stepped it up a little bit. And what I really want to do is get out there and really and have an input and be involved in changing the way that people think about healing and wellness. And this is through this whole process of self-testing and self-analyzing and interpreting, because this is the way it needs to go. I have no doubt. How do we do this? How do we get people to change? Well, it's going to be a process, and we've started that process. I've started it with the Biosynergy Health side, and now I've got to the point where we need to take this a lot further, and I guess bring in a lot more people and get more people involved so that we can spread the word and just get this out there, because this is truly going to make a big difference to how people live and how people heal and how people see wellness. The thinking needs to change, and we are a core group of people who are going to be doing this. Okay, so you're going to hear me. You know, I'm going to be talking a lot about this in the future, about building this team and getting this out there and bringing more and more people in, and just getting this thinking out there. Okay, a little bit of core structure and timing, and as you can see in the graphic, I have a proposal. I have struggled for quite a while with how we do this, and more importantly, how do we do this in such a way that it's very effective in regards to learning, of course, and looking at structures and timings and trying to fit in with everybody in regards to, you know, the different countries and whatnot, and also look how quick do we do it, and the format. And I struggled for quite a while with things, and I think I've just about got it nailed now. I think what I'm going to propose. Oh, the other thing too is that I've got to be very, very careful with legalities with teaching this stuff. Okay, I've got to really watch my backside with sort of focusing on I'm a teacher and you're a learner. So what I'm proposing to do, and the other thing too I want to do, what I aim to do is to build this up You know, doing a course for 30 people over 3 months and then waiting to do another one, it's never going to happen. It's going to take too long to get this this thing moving. So we build up a team. We've got the core team now, the core team of 30, and we'll use that as a basis to move forward. Now, instead of charging a fee of $399 to be able to come and join on the biohacking program, the $399 will then contribute to, that would be the fee for joining on the biohacking Facebook group, if you like, or the team, all right, or my, you know, this group. And what that gives you is 12 months access to ongoing training. So we'll do all this training. It's not going to change. We'll have all the training. That's going to be exactly the same. But there's going to be a lot more stuff because all of my stuff focus is going to be on this group. So we're going to have lots of juicy stuff coming in at the right times. We're going to have lots of videos. We're going to have lots of talkback sessions. We're going to have specialist sessions. We're going to have not so specialist sessions. We're going to have advanced stuff. Okay? And we'll do it in such a way that we don't have to do it every week. Okay, it's not something that, you know, be there on such a Sunday night, and if you're not there, you're going to miss it. Blah blah blah. We'll take it forward in a fashion that's going to suit everybody. Okay, so it's going to be like you can come in and out at any given time and pick up, and through that whole year, everything's going to be covered to that $399. Okay, now I think if I do this way, it makes it more viable for myself. It makes it more viable for everything. It makes it more viable for you. And as I do this, I'm going to be moving more and more away from doing the testing. I'm actually going to be stopping that soon and saying this is what you need to do, because I can do the testing for you for sure. And I can help you identify what you need to do for sure. This is what I do. But you've got to learn how to do this stuff, otherwise there's no point, because you are going to struggle. So this is where I'm going anyway. But and every year there'll be a $399 fee to maintain and stay in the group. And once again, by the time we get to the end of the year, I don't think this is going to be a problem for many people, especially professionals, because it's just going to be ongoing learning, ongoing. It's going to be ongoing everything, and there's going to be so much stuff on there. And like I said, if I do it in this fashion, it makes it viable for me to do this properly without, you know, and I need to do it properly, and I want to do it properly, and I want to make it very, very good, and I want to make it very, very special and unique, and I will. So please feedback to me your thoughts on that. Now, in fact, in regards to kicking off the program, we will still stick to, we'll stick to a 2-hour session. And they're going to be separated for the first session, especially to make sure that I get to talk to both of you. We don't have any overlaps in regards to countries. So the first session will be on 8 p.m. On August the 20th, Australia time, or Eastern Standard Time, which will be 11 a.m. in the UK. So that covers both Australian and UK members, or people that live in that area. And then we go for the USA one, which I will be doing on the Monday morning in Australia at 10 a.m. But that will be 7 p.m. or roughly 7 p.m. or in that region across the USA. So we're going to do that anyway. And that's going to kick off, and it'll be a webinar, and it will work. It's going to be all recorded. But for this first session, it's going to be, you know, let's get into the coalition. Let's make sure everybody's happy with all that. We all know what we need to do with the self-testing. And any question and answers, just preparing for the course, looking at the structure, start looking as we move forward. And I'll be using that first session to kick in the digestion model, if you like, as well, because as we know, digestion underlines everything. And we also know that just by fixing digestion on its own isn't going to fix everything, but it's fundamental, it's foundational to everything. So we're going to start looking into digestion, start moving with that. And yeah, that's that's the sort of plan. The other thing too I'd like to do is as we move forward, I want to bring more and more people into the program. So my focus will be with the Biosynergy Health site is to funnel people into the site to say, well, we'll give people a bit of an intro with the biosynergy health, and maybe people will do some testing. But the whole aim is to get them into the I'm a biohacker, because this is what's going to do it. Okay, and like I said, although I originally had the idea of let's cap it at 30, I was really sort of biting myself in the bum there, because financially viability it's not that viable, but also it really restricts the amount of people that can come through, and once again, it really restricts the ability of me to be able to do this and to achieve this. So if you've got any friends, you've got any other practitioners you think that might be interested, get them in, start talking to them, get them into let's get them in, because the more the merrier. The more people we have in this group, the more experiential learning we'll have, and the more we'll be able to move, to take this movement forward. So please, I urge you to do that. And the end of the day, in regards to the financial side of things, everything I'm doing here, it's everything everything I've done for a long time just goes straight back into the business. This is all about pushing this movement forward, and all the resources that I can accumulate and start bringing in over the next few months by getting this program fired up is going to enable me to do this, and also to be able to travel and take it and meet you guys more in person and do some live trainings and whatnot. Okay, so once again, have a think about that and leave me any feedback. Okay, I'm getting onto the coalition, start measuring. Look, between now and 3 or 4 weeks' time when we start this program, get into the coalition, start clicking on everything. I've enabled everything. It's not set up specifically for anybody. I've enabled everything as if you've got all the imbalances, so you can start going in there and reading it, right? Just get your head around it. Get a feel for it, so that when we start doing some training, your mind will be, oh, yeah, I've got my head around that. I've got a bit of an idea where this guy's coming from. Okay, so start doing it, start measuring. The other thing, too, with measuring, don't worry too much if you don't understand totally what you're doing or what it means. Okay? If in 3 or 4 weeks' time that we start getting into the coalition, we start talking about what some of this stuff means, we can start going back in time and go like, whoa, look at these numbers. And we will already have some history and some data to start working on. Okay? The more data we have, the more quickly we're going to start working out the patterns. The more quickly we're going to start revealing and understanding the language of your body. Okay? It's really important. It takes a bit of time to get into, but I can't stress the importance enough of doing that and just getting into the habit of doing that. Okay? Big Q&A. Look, we're not. I'm going to do a Q&A session. Obviously, it's not going to be live right now. We've got to fix that. I want to see you guys. I want to get some video up. But for right now, let's just leave some comments underneath. Let's get some feedback. And like I said, get your friends in, invite people in, start talking to people. Let's get this thing happening, because we're going to change the world. I really, truly believe this. I really, truly do. And you guys, the Core 30, are going to be playing a massive big role in this as well. So thanks very much for being patient with me over the last few weeks. You're going to get a lot more busier over the next few weeks, and of course before we start the course. But yeah, thanks very much for supporting me and being patient. This is going to get exciting. We're going to learn some crazy stuff. Hang in there. Do as much research as you can. And the other thing too, I can't remember if I mentioned, make sure that there's a PDF in the file section of my of this group, it's on digestion, written by John Barron. Please read it. It's a big PDF. It's probably one of the best articles you'll ever read on digestion. You're not going to take it all in. I haven't taken it all in, but it'll give you a really good grounding and a really good sort of preparation, if you like, for our session when we kick this off and we start talking about some digestion. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Thanks very much for being patient and listening to me. We'll talk soon. Okay, bye-bye.